I stay perfectly still, do you think the caption will be like, hello? Today is Geekspeak, and we are talking about AI, and because that's like my thing right now, I'm sure it's everybody's thing, AI in search and social. And last week we did a lot of the search, but I'm Pip, Seymour Digital Media, and this is.
Rina from Little Works Indie Media.
And today, yeah, it's going to be a good chat up, I think, between you and I and all the things changing. I know you were really into what was going on with. I know we didn't even get to my part last week because there was so much we talked about with social and AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So do
And
you want to
she's been
give a
listening to you
recap?
before. Yeah, so I will give. Yeah, let me start with a little recap. So, AI, the AI that basically it's moved from in especially it started in TikTok where you were oh gosh. So you're it's acting more like a search engine. So younger people are and specifically are using TikTok search more as a search engine. And not I don't find that so much on Meta, but what I am finding on Meta and what it's not just me, it's just the world. This is the search engine has changed to or the algorithm has changed to delivering information out to non-followers instead of followers. So that's called the AI powered discovery engine. And so what that means is, or what we're looking at is that it means that you need to stop spending your time and money growing your audience. That's number one. And you want to prepare your content to be found by non-followers, so new people with interests on your topic or on your products. So we want to really focus on creating content that's going to find that top funnel people and find you, and they're going to be interested in what you're doing. You
So
probably
hold on,
noticed it.
I have a
Yeah,
question. So is
yeah,
this for organic social
yes, yes, because
pages
the
or
algorithm is
people?
always for organic. I mean, paid is the whole
Got
point of
its own
getting
algorithm.
past the algorithm, right? But so it's I don't really understand your pages or people question. Do you want to let me know what you're
Well, like,
about?
because it was very hard to do anything in social unless you paid, like to get more viewers, right? Unless you
Yeah,
pay
so
to
this is
play.
what I'm talking about. So we're not looking at, so it used to be you would create your content and that would go in front of a certain percentage of your current followers. And then if they interacted with that content, then it would move out into other people. So their connections, that type of thing. And that's how the algorithm would sort of bump up with every action. Now what's happening is the content on Meta, this is Meta specific, is going out to people. It's not discovery, but it's like discovery. People who are interested in your content. So if you go to your insights, especially on Instagram, it's really easy to see because they have the little circle wheels and it shows your content going out to followers and non-followers. You'll notice that it goes
Uh-huh.
out to non-followers more often than followers, and we're seeing it up to sometimes up to 90% to non-followers. So the AI is not designed anymore for followers, so that causes sort of, and this is sort of what I went into not last week but the week before's live session. I was really focused on the meta algorithm and how AI is
Oh.
affecting that. So you need to think about um, new people. How do you want to speak to them? What kind of topic is going to be relevant for them? And get that kind of content going. And you have to have
Interesting.
a plan B for your followers. How do you get content to your followers or your people that are already, in your audience? So that's two things. And yes, of course, always paid will get you past that algorithm. And so sometimes that's a really great strategy to do certain organic content to get those non-followers and then
Yeah.
maybe get some paid content getting to your current followers for different stages of your buying journey. So maybe the lower end of your funnel work, you'll do paid ads for to get to
Interesting.
your followers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so there's 2 things. Don't bother growing your following.
Interesting.
That's now
Interesting.
become yeah, that's just
Well,
become a vanity metric now. That's another vanity metric
interesting.
like
But wait. Hold on. Is it really a vanity metric when, like, not, when influencers, that's how they get brand deals by follower counts, right? And she,
sometimes, but I think people
yeah,
are looking for different things now. They're looking for different they should be looking for different metrics because it's just so easy to pay for followers. It's just
additional
yeah, so
information and
that's
metrics.
yes, yeah, so that's one piece of information you can look at. Yes, I think for, new businesses starting out, I would probably set up some money to get some followers so that when, people visit your page, you're not getting 3 followers and they're all your family members. You might want something a little bit more than that, but I don't think you have to, like, continue on after you hit a certain point, so you need to think
Interesting.
about what kind of business are you doing? If you're doing influencing, then maybe that might be a bit different, but still, I think influencers, if they're really savvy, they're probably using,
Well,
ad
there's,
spend
yeah.
anyways. Yeah,
Well,
and s
influencers don't deal. They have a, like, a broker right in the middle. But Shaylin's saying it's important to know your target. That's why it's important to know your target audience.
yes.
So,
Yes,
um,
exactly. So, yes, exactly. So you want to, if you're doing organic, and this is what this algorithm conversation is about, then you do want to know your target. You want to know where the algorithm is sending your content so that you can organize your content to be relevant for that market, that target that's being organized by the AI. So if you just don't know what the algorithm is doing and you're just guessing, you're throwing, spaghetti at the wall and trying a bunch of different things. Really look to see what's converting. Like I check the insights on every single post that I'm doing organically to see what worked, what got sent out to my followers, what got sent out to non-followers. And then if it's a nice big um result, then I'm like, "Okay, what is it about this post that worked so nicely? Was it because I was in it? Was it because the content was relevant? Was it because I had written a really top-notch
and
status
what
to
are you
go with?"
seeing?
Yeah, what is it because I used really good hashtags? Like, those are the things that you wanna go and then you wanna test those things. So what is
So,
it? So
are
Yep.
Facebook still hashtaggy?
No, Instagram is though.
Okay. Yeah, I'm.
So
It's funny. It's the only. I don't often use Instagram, and that's just me. That's just one of the
yeah.
channels that's not in our repertoire.
Yeah, I'm finding Instagram more and more interesting lately. I do know that I didn't like it mostly because I was getting a lot of ads and a lot of suggested content, and I wasn't actually getting my follower content very, very nicely. And it was something that I'd look at the end of the day, and I just prefer TikTok over it, quite frankly.
Hmm.
But I'm noticing that hashtags are really working better on Instagram. My posts are getting to more people on Instagram than TikTok, and it's the same content or similar
Interesting.
content. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. The algorithm on TikTok is slightly different. So that's like, people are using things like search. So your hashtags need to be content forward. Um, and I'd say they need to be content forward on Instagram also. Um, but I think that on TikTok, you can go deeper in your funnel with your hashtags and do more specific um, kinds of topic, right? So more intermediate level topic, like, that type of stuff. On Instagram, I'm still looking at top funnel topics. So that's what's
Mm,
working for me at the moment. But really, again, this is another exercise in learning how to look at your results and not just become a content machine. Because I think, oopsies, I'm literally out of frame here. We're really focused sometimes as business owners, small business owners, at getting our message out, which sometimes isn't really the goal. For me, the goal still is building my list and getting clients or getting viewers to my website because those two things are what matters the most to me. And
mm.
so that's yeah, so Shaylin's talking about the insights on individual posts. Absolutely. And then testing from there. So, oh, we've got a question. I love questions.
Ooh, that's a good question, Shaylin. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on Google pushing Instagram
yeah.
Reels to come up in search now?
Yeah, that is
Interesting.
awesome.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
them recently, but yeah,
Awesome.
we have a lot to talk about with search. It's a little bit of a disruption over
So these
there.
Yeah, these platforms, it's really quite interesting because for a long time it was Twitter that was, the one that you
You know
wanted to
why?
worry about for search. They all make friends and they all break up. It's just, it's
Yeah.
just relationships. So now is the time that if you're on Instagram, this is the time to really make hay.
Oh,
Doesn't start.
interesting. So I know
Yeah.
with like so you'll notice you don't see TikTok in the search engine results pages, right?
No.
You never see TikTok. You usually only see like your Instagram uh page or your Facebook page or so that's like social search, right? You're searching to see all the things that show up on the first 3 pages of Google for your brand, for your name, for your phone number, for your address if you have those in there. They all want to you want to take up the first 3 pages. Um and that's like social search, but not social search because there's so many ways to do social search because now you can actually search
Yeah.
in social. Now, I don't use Instagram, and Facebook has been really hard um, to use. And I know when Twitter showed up in search engine results pages, it was about a relationship, and they wouldn't show all, they would
Yeah.
only show a portion, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it's, and I wonder if people are going to be likely to click on them, or
I'm
are
just
people what? Oh, what?
Yeah. I think so. I think they'll be able to click on them. I'm wondering if it's going to be rolled out across the board or just for certain regions. Usually, Meta tests things in certain regions. I can't see anything easily on Google at the moment on that, but
Yeah, where
that's
Shaylin, where did you hear that? That's really
July,
July
July
10th.
10th. Yeah.
It's like 8 days. Is that in Canada?
Well, that's exactly what I was just asking. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's rolling out regionally or not. It's not clear, but I will look further into that for
that's
better.
exciting. I
Yeah.
mean, look what we get excited about. Isn't it funny?
Well, I don't know. I think it's that's a great thing to be excited about out of
I
all of.
think search is fascinating. So I think what's happening in there, because today I wanted to bring up the difference between, so we have AEO,
Mhm.
which is generate, answer generated information. And we are going to be moving to their, what are they're putting out there? It's chat GBT is going to be integrated with Google search. Not actually chat GBT, but it's going to be called Google's AI mode, and it's coming soon. And
Yeah.
Google has already lost like 1 point. So what is the stat? It's like 1.4, lost 1.4 of its market share to chat GBT.
All right. So, that's funny because I read 3% in that difference somewhere. So maybe the stats are different in
Ooh.
different places. So where did
Well,
you get
that's
that from?
ChatGPT. That doesn't include Perplexity or
Oh,
Gemini
so
or
AI
Copilot
overall.
or
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
lot, right? There is so much going on. And I mean, to be honest, like AI, if you're not using it and if you're not going to get. So I have a friend who's a teacher in Toronto and I love her. She's not interested in this stuff at all. I could barely talk to her about it. But I bet you in a year, she'll be using it and and it will be second nature
Okay,
within a
so
year
my
to her.
question is 3%. What is 3% in terms of dollars? Like, it seems like a very small amount. Do we need to worry about that right now or not?
Well, okay, if you think, well, they're saying 25% of like searches don't result in a click anywhere now,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
like we're sorry, we're losing more market share to having people go to websites.
yeah,
Um, People are getting found in like Chat GPT. I actually did a search for in Chat GPT and I was researching something and it came up and it said, would you like to learn how to do this? And I was like, yeah. Will you like me to make you a video or get you a video to learn how to do this? I was like, yeah. It actually pulled a video from YouTube and put it. I was like,
Oh, that's so
thanks.
funny. So it's kinda all integrate it's all so what it so you're suggesting that we need to sort of take maybe 3% of our budget and organize ourselves on AI is what you're suggesting.
I think it is really important to start to look at things. So one of the things that was really interesting with our team is um, we were discussing the beginning of this week how we want to use FAQ schema, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
FAQ schema a long time ago was depreciated by
Yeah.
Google. But
Yeah.
now that is one of the ways you're getting found in like
Oh, okay.
perplexity. And so people are now doing
I
that
got two.
again.
Okay, I got two questions. Does that mean you have to have an entire page of FAQ, or can you put FAQ? Can you put FAQ like they, on like WordPress has the templates for FAQ? Can you put them on an About Us page or a different page and still have that rank, or does it still need to? Do we need to go back to the old way of doing it where it's its own complete page?
Hmm. I mean, I would have both
Okay.
personally. But the schema would go on the FAQ full page, I believe.
Okay.
I would have to
Okay.
double confirm that. And I mean, so it's interesting because is Google still not validating that? And I mean, Google says they're doing things and they're not doing things, and then you see things and then it's not true, and you know what I mean. So, but it's looking like it's looking like we're in a revolution, like a digital revolution for search, anyway, right? Like, I mean, between you know being able to search well on TikTok, which I've been talking about for years. It is such and it is great. Video like does sell products. Video does sell like people listening, and if you do it the
Yeah.
right way where it's not like an ad, people are more inclined to be like, "Oh, I like her, so I'm going to like that." Would have both too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um yeah, yeah, and do FAQs on your that's interesting, Shaylin. So FAQs on your Google business profile you should fill out. And I think they tell you you get like 12, but you can fill out, I don't know, I filled out 13. Oh, I think somebody's watering something outside. I just saw spray through my window. Anyway, a little concerning. Rena, are you gone? What happened? You're blinking and
Nope,
listening.
you were in the middle of a thought, and
I was
I
sorry. I got a spray. I was like,
okay. I mean,
um,
before that, you were in a thought. You
oh,
filled out
the FAQs.
Google
Yeah.
Business. Yeah,
So what we do is we get people to start to write down the most commonly questions they get asked,
yeah.
especially if you record your videos and stuff. So you could go back through them, find the most commonly asked questions, and then I
Mhm.
put them on your Google Business profile and maybe even update them quarterly. The coolest thing with the FAQs and stuff, if you go to the FAQs and you search something, it'll pull up your reviews that relate to that question.
Oh, interesting. I've never seen that. Okay, that's really great to know.
Hmm.
Okay, well, okay, so then what do you think in terms of marketing spend, what do you think people should be organizing time and resources towards um,
Oh, good question.
ranking for AI exactly? And when you organize, do you organize separate? Because I don't really know very much about this. This is your wheelhouse. Do you organize separately for each AI, or is there one way of organizing for all AI? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's as I said, because it's like it is like a revolution right now, or evolution, whichever, like it is changing where all the old ways we used to do things are coming into question. What's more important? How are these AI engines pulling in data and distributing it? So
Mhm.
there's like semantic search, which can
Mhm.
relate. There is uh there's so much to do. So to answer your question in full, uh I think it's going to change over time. I think that right now, if you're organizing your content for what's coming, so start to research what's coming. Like, is it AEO? Is it AI generated? How am I going to? Because with the AEO, you want to get into the featured snippet. So the featured snippet is the most important. Maybe you want to do ads. Ads seem to really work. They do boost your organic a little bit because you're getting more people to your site. You get more data. So you're seeing like, okay, why are people leaving this page? Why are they doing that? And like, if we focus on what the users are doing, maybe that's the best way to optimize our content. And if we listen to what our customers are asking, maybe that's also the best way we put out our content. And we need to all realize that we're going to get less clicks to our website and things like that. And so, an omni channel approach, especially if things like Instagram are going into search, especially if we're seeing that TikTok people are using search, like you have to find out where your customers are, which is hard, where you want to be,
Yeah.
what kind of content you can deliver, and it has to be about your customer, not about you.
Yeah, it has to be about your customer. I actually had a whole website re-stripped of content. It was customer journey focused, and somebody went in and created it business, what we do focused, and it was really interesting switch. I found that to be quite perplexing, you know.
What were the numbers?
For the I don't it's a brand new site, so wasn't really anything to
Oh,
they didn't have Google Analytics set up. It was a whole there was a lot of things with that site, but they didn't wait to see what the numbers were on the new content and how it was operating in the world. They just decided that they wanted to focus on them, which I think is always a really big mistake. Focusing on your customer journey instead of the why I set up my business is so much more interesting. You know, it hits me where when I know I have a problem, if you understand what my problem is right at the get-go.
so tell me more. Are you, when you're doing the website, you're speaking from a customer's point of view of, like, so you're not writing about like I started my
That's
business when?
that's correct. Like
Okay.
the yeah, that's correct. The founder's journey can be interesting at the beginning, but it's a little bit old hat. Now, what's more interesting or what creates better interaction for a customer is the customer's journey, not the proprietor's or the business owner's journey.
Interesting.
Um, so yeah, because you have to get so if you're thinking about the old style of home pages in particular, you would have like sort of like your tagline usually and a call to action if you had that, and then below you'd have what do we do, and that's fine. But what you really want to key into is like what problem are you solving? How can you help that person? That's got
Hmm.
to be really front facing rather than I started my clinic because I felt that people were not getting the kind of care that they, you know what I mean? Who cares what you think? It's like, what is my experience as a patient is way more important than right? And
Interesting.
so that the founder's journey can be a good starting place when you're a brand new company because it helps you. You don't really know your client journey yet. But
Hmm.
once you understand your client journey, then you need to put that front and center, and that needs to be your focus. Um,
That's really interesting. I have
yeah.
some predictions. So I was wondering, do you have predictions for what's coming? I wanted to kind of put it out
Yeah.
there because AI is crazy. It is, I mean, I know you laugh at me, but it really is in our profession, like
I don't laugh at
it's
you.
it's so life changing right now. It's like I think a lot of us, I mean, even we're a little overwhelmed in the marketing space because every day it's like, oh my god, there's this, oh my god, there's that, oh yeah, yeah, you know.
Well, it can be overwhelming, but I feel like what you had said earlier really resonates for me is you used the term omni-channel, whereas I look at you need an overall strategy and you
Mm,
need to be working from that place rather than siloing and hoping for the best and just creating content and hoping for the best. So for
no
me, the
spray and
strategy,
pray.
pardon me?
No spray and pray.
Yes, yes, spray and pray. So I really feel that we're going to be moving from independent siloed providers into at least having somebody organizing a strategy and overseeing that strategy over many channels. And that's how I see a movement from this to this. Right?
Interesting.
You'll still get the, you know, you're still gonna get the deep, knowledge from, independent contractors who organize the individual, um, areas, but you're gonna have somebody that's gonna be in charge of that strategy and reviewing all of the data at the end of the month rather than,
Well,
or
that's
weekly.
fun. That's the funnest part. I mean, when we get to dig into the data, Phelan's really great at it. It's really great to be, you know, and many of our clients really appreciate it because for the first time ever, they're saying, hey, I put money into this, but what's making me money? Right. And I mean,
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a real separation between informational content and product content,
Yes,
right?
for sure. Oh, that's
Because I think
good. Yeah.
product is going like hard on social where you're going to be able to click to buy. I mean, that's what they want, right? So
Mhm.
I think that's going to be a big factor. I think urgency is a big factor. I think
Yeah.
specialization is a huge factor because you want to find those people that are just like, oh my God, I love this stuff, right? And they're eating it for lunch and
Mhm.
then telling you about it. So I think urgency and what's coming, because traditional things are no longer working um,
Yeah.
as they used to. So um, my prediction is that AI is going to completely change how SEO works soon, but it's
Oh, yeah,
you're
for
going to
sure.
need the human in there to make it personalized because I don't think AI can personalize really well, and I think personalization expertise will all become huge factors.
Well,
Yeah.
and I also think that AI, when we're thinking about algorithms, is my primary. It's like I think that when you create content, again, I wouldn't call it personalization. I would call it, and I think it's the same thing. I think we're saying exactly the same thing, but for me, words are really important, and
Mm,
so I would call it more. You have to have that ability to actually, it's not even the doing of the thing, it's the understanding how the thing is done. So what I mean by it is that it's not just having a writer that uses AI that can actually write things nicely, because writers will be able to look at something and say, yeah, this is professionally done, no, this is not professionally done. Lay people will not be able to do that very well. We already see that. um,
mm. You
they
can
don't
tell if
know.
a company's hired an SEO company, like on
Yeah,
search. You can tell. You can tell.
well, you can really tell. Or a certain kind of SEO company, or if they're outsourcing to a foreign country, usually that's a indicator, like, that
Mm,
those style of SEO blogs are very particular. But there are lots of blogs that are SEO written and that you can't tell right away because they're really good. They're done by professionals, with a certain perspective of how they should be done, not
yeah.
just professionals. You know what I mean? So the second point is, about that, is that, yeah, and that's the other thing. So, and from a website perspective, those websites that you can build in 5 minutes with AI, which I've used.
I've
Okay,
tried
let
it.
me
I've tried. It's interesting.
try it. I have not used it in terms of
I
selling.
have concerns.
Yeah, they're terrible. They
No,
look
no, I have.
terrible.
Yeah,
They're
some.
terrible.
No,
They're
no.
absolutely
I've seen
terrible.
some that look good. I have, but I
Yeah.
have some concerns about hosting. I have some concerns about being able to optimize. I have
Yes.
concerns about access.
Also,
I have so many concerns. But
no
Shaylin is
kidding.
saying AI. Oh, sorry. Go on.
If you look at the websites from the lens of, accessibility or design, like good design, they're
Yeah,
not good design. They're just as bad as like WordPress templates, like, which some people think look nice. But if you're a professional, you know when something is a template and when it's not. You know,
that's
that's
true.
that's what I'm talking about, and it's very limiting. Okay, let's
Hmm.
see what Shaylin's, comment is.
It's
Um,
basically it's eating itself, which I mean,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
it's gonna. So it's an
yeah.
echo chamber. It's really interesting because websites are putting out content that is AI generated, maybe a little bit personalized. However, yes, it does. And there are other sites that like I used to use Gobblebot to like grab all the content from a site, um, just so I could know how to speak in the client's language. And people are blocking Gobblebot. So people are blocking like, and I mean, I was it Mastodon or
Yeah.
somewhere was blocking. So where then you have Reddit who sold all the user generated content
Oh,
to
they did, I
open
didn't hear.
AI, right? And then they made a deal with like Bing, Microsoft, and then they made a deal with Google. So we will really see maybe all the big giants will work together, and then we'll all just buy everything through,
Ugh,
something called Piccadilly. I don't know. I don't know.
let's see.
Um,
Let's see what happens.
yeah,
There
but
will
we
always
are
be options.
we're out of
You're out of time.
time. Out of time, but it is so interesting to see how things are changing. If you're seeing something change and we didn't hit on something, make sure to mention it. If you're looking for us, we are in the group the business marketing mixer without the and we're also on YouTube and we have Facebook pages And we come here every Thursday to talk about something marketing. So that's search, social, websites, and AI. And next week is, Rena, what are we talking about next week?
Website redesign, when and how
Ooh,
to refresh your site, and that will be with me and Greg.
nice. That sounds really interesting because I know you all have opinions about how often one should refresh or redesign. What is the answer to that? Oh, we'll have to wait till next week.
Yes. See
See
you
you
next
next week.
week.